Hey everybody, it's Toya once again. I just did a video about the misconception of touch not mine anointed. And when I was reading, I used my Bible app from Play Store, the Holy Bible. I'm sure mad people have that on their phone or whatever because it really is convenient. But I said that I was using that app because I wasn't using my Bible because it wasn't KJV and I didn't get down with that Bible anymore. And I just want to tell you exactly why. I said I would make a video about it, and here it goes. Well, when you think about standard versions or other versions of the Bible or whatever, it seems really helpful. It breaks down things really simply or whatever. It seems like a benefit. I understand why people use them because I use them too. In fact, I really used to like the ESV. That's the standard, or excuse me, the English Standard Version or whatever. But one thing I did notice that with my actual paperback Bible or whatever, what kind is I don't know what kind it is. I can't see what it is. I think it's NIV or Good News or something. I don't know. But what I did notice about it is that when I was reading them, I felt like it was really simplistic. Not that it was just taking out the thy and the there or thy the, you know how the KJV talks or whatever. It seemed like it wasn't just taking that out. It seemed like it was really, really making it very simplistic. Like it would take like a verse that seemed like it was like two paragraphs and break it down to like four sentences. So that sort of bothered me. But I was watching, you know, someone I'm subscribed to or whatever. Shout out to Holy Vessel 34 for putting me on. Now, I'm not the person who just runs off with word of mouth. I've done my own research and I find it to be true. So I'm going to break down exactly why I have a problem with anything other than KJV at this point. Um, I'm going to go over some names of these that could be in your app that you could be using. We have KJV, of course, you know what that is, the King James Version. We have ERV, the easy to read version. CPD, the Catholic Public Domain Version. ESV, the English Standard Version. CEB, the Common English Bible. NIV, the New Translation Version. AMP, the Amplified Bible. ASV, the American Standard Version. And GNT, the Good News Translation. Okay. And mind you, there's like 700 more, but I was just trying to, just do a couple. This is going to be a short video. Now, I'm going to read Matthew 17, verse 14 through verse 21. Now, everybody's probably familiar with this story, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. It said from 14, just so you know where we're about. And when they were all come to multitude, there came unto him a certain man, kneeling down to him, saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he's a lunatic, and sore vexed. For oft times he fallen into the fire and into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. And Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer with you? Bring him hither to me. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, Why could not we cast him out? They want to know why they couldn't cast out the devils or the demons. And Jesus said unto him, Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible to you. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. And verse 22 says, and while they abode in Galilee, Jesus said to them, the Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of men. And shall they kill him, and on the third day he shall rise again. Okay, so this part, this passage or whatever that I'm reading is about a man coming to Jesus. He needs his son cured. He's a lunatic. He's possessed by demons. He's doing all type of horrible things to himself. The man brought his son to Jesus' own disciples, and Jesus' own disciples could not cast out these demons. So Jesus was frustrated with them because I'm sure he's teaching them how to do these things or whatever, and why can't they perform. So that's why he said, how long must I suffer with y'all or whatever. So pretty much and Jesus cast out the demons. His disciples asked him, why could we not cast them out? Jesus said, if you had faith the size of a mustard seed, a little bit of faith, if you had that much faith, you could tell that mountain over there to move from out that mountain and move over here. Like mountain, you move from where you at to all the way over there. You know what I'm saying? The mountain will do it. And what did it say? I'm not going to paraphrase when we come to what Jesus said. Then he said, howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. And here I believe he's talking about demons or demonic forces. If you're not going to have prayer and fasting, if you're not practicing and doing these things, when it comes down to casting out demonic forces, you won't be able to do it or whatever. So that's what Jesus said in verse 21. That's what that's about. Then they were on their way to Galilee, and Jesus was telling him, such and such. Well, I'm not such and such, but was telling them about how he will be persecuted, killed, and rise on the third day, or whatever. And this is the problem here. In the King James Version that I just read, it says, verse 21, howbeit this kind goeth out not but by prayer and fasting. In the easy to read version Bible, that passage 21, it's a little box around the side where you can push the box and verse 21 pops up or whatever, but you have to hit the box. And then it says a big button at the bottom that says close. In the Catholic Public Domain Version, CPDV, the order is mixed, and it has verse 21 as verse 20 and 21 as 22. I have no idea why the Catholic Public Domain Bible would do that. The English Standard Version, the ESV, which I've read all the time, doesn't have the verse at all whatsoever. It's not there. It goes from verse 20 to 22. It's not mentioned. CEB, the Common English Bible, it goes from verse 20 to 22. It's missing. It's not there at all. NIV, New Translation Version, it's missing 20 to 22. That verse is not there. Amplified Bible. Now let me tell you about the Amplified Bible. The Amplified Bible, AMP, has verse 21 in its right and proper place, but it's in slanted text. I don't know. I would say maybe because Jesus is speaking, but all the other things that he was saying wasn't in slanted text, so I don't know what that's supposed to mean. ASV, American Standard Version, has it in its proper place. Good News Bible has also the pop-up box. Inside the pop-up box, it says some manufacturers add verse 21, but only prayer and fasting drive out this. No other time. Something along those lines. It's what it's saying. Now, I think that is very important, verse 21. If you want to drive out, demons, that's what it was about. That's what Jesus was talking about to his disciples or whatever. Verse 21 was very imperative to what happened between verse 14 and verse 21. They couldn't drive out the demonic forces out of their person because when Jesus said, howbeit, what did he say? Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. Why will all these translations not want us to have that information? And for that reason alone, I'm not reading them anymore. And if this one is the only one that I know for now is screwed up, that's enough. But it's probably massive amounts of things that's missing or misconstrued. And I don't understand why. But if I was you, I would beware. And it might be hard to understand the KJV, but get yourself a dictionary, a Bible dictionary, and you will be fine because they're not missing verses.